Hello everybody, the Destroyer here, and welcome back to another cast of the Rise of the Witch King patch 2.02 version 5.0.1 from the October 2015 Rise of the Pumpking tournament. The Halloween tournament, of course. And this is round 1, game 2 of Eonwe vs. Turgon on Spooky Fords, the custom map of reskin of Fords of Horizon 2. So it looks like we have Turgon as the dwarf player in the top left, and Eonwe is Isengard in the bottom right. Of course, if you didn't watch the first game, I would recommend doing so, but I will spoil it for you right now that Eonwe, of course, won the first match in their matchup there. It was a good match, though. A nice Isengard mirror. So this time we're going Isengard versus Dwarf. So we'll see how that works out for Turgon and Eonwe. Who will be victorious, I wonder? I already know, but I'm not going to tell you, of course. You're going to have to watch. Along with me, of course. I haven't actually seen the replay, I just know. Because I know things. But, looks like Eonwe is going for a clan steading. This is opener, as he did last game. So Wildman, probably Wildman crossbows, same as last game. Generally, Wildman crossbows all across the board for any Isengard player, I would expect. Unless they decide to go for something different. Some players open up with the barracks, the Uruk pit, but not many. And we have our first battalion of pikes out here. Does he have a forward mine? He's actually built a forward mine here next to this cave troll, so he's going to look to take this this inn here and utilize hobbits, which is not a bad idea. And of course, if he can take out the troll in the troll lair, he can also utilize the money and power points from that. As you see, Phalanx is easily counter this cave troll, allowing him to do just that. So is he going to take out the troll lair first or capture this first? I guess he's going to capture this, or just take out that first. That's fair enough. Of course, we're dwarves against up against the spam team. It can be a little difficult sometimes. He's going to have to keep popping out his mine shafts every place he goes around to defend his stuff from attack. And now we have a battalion of Guardians sent over here to finish off this thing. So they can clean that up while the Guardians, or the Phalanxes, capture this and get the inn going. Of course, another mine shaft being built here. Turgon doing fairly well so far. He hasn't really came under any direct threat as of yet. Eonwe hasn't really reached any of his mine shafts, it doesn't look like. But he is continuing to send wildmen across the field. He does have the battalion of crossbows now, so he does have an Uruk pit. There it is. But it can be scary once the dwarf gets going, so he will have to start taking out some of the mine shafts and such of the dwarves, or he's going to have a big issue on his hands. And as you see there, pretty useful. The direction of which your mine shaft is facing is also pretty crucial. See how he's facing away from his fort? No point in facing it towards your fort because the enemy is going to attack you on this side. So it is kind of key to put your buildings facing the opposite way. Your fort will defend this side, you have to defend this side. And you, of course, can pop out that side easily. Something I should really utilize myself, but I don't really pay attention when I'm building my mine shafts, unfortunately. We do have a forward mine here. It doesn't look like it's going to be up very long. Although some dwarves have been popped out of it. And there's also some hobbits from rock throw in the mix there. Rally call being thrown down on the dwarves, and Eonwe's forces will have to retreat. Turgon has some very tanky, very strong dwarves ready for battle. Turgon doing a nice job sending these phalanxes after this, while sending the bulk of his army this way. It's going to take a while before he can bring these guardians down. He causes Eonwe to cancel that furnace there. Let's see how things are going over here. Turgon might want to pull these guardians out here if he wants to defend this mineshaft from destruction. Fortunately, he's probably too busy doing other things, so he won't notice. He actually pulled them out somewhere else. Looks like we managed to get this mineshaft here, though. That's a pretty key one. Although Turgon going for possible battle wagons or maybe something else. Siege hammers can be pretty deadly as well. If you can get to the fort with a bunch of siege hammered guardians, then your enemy's pretty much done. It's a pretty valid tactic. Load up under a mine with guardians with siege hammers and just pop them out next to the fort and take it down. You probably won't see that utilized here, but that's a later game thing. Of course, the undermine is a later power, but it is a tactic, and it works quite effectively. Turgon does have a mine shaft down here as well. So he does have some mines about. And these Phalanx is holding off pretty well. Look how tanky he is. He's not even a porcupine. What the hell? Why is this banner carrier so hard to kill for a whole battalion of pikes? That's a little weird. But, okay. Of course, these hobbits will be pretty helpful. Utilizing the inn, it can be pretty useful depending on what team you are. Majority of the teams actually benefit from the inn pretty well. Isengard probably one of the least amount because they build wildmen out of their inn, which I don't actually like personally, because they're able to get wildmen anyway for the same price, just from a building they have to build. If you want double the wildman production, sure, it's great, but I mean, it'd be nice if it was a different unit. This hobbit's gonna get killed there by the wildmen though, before they take this farm, this furnace. It does get that furnace there, though. Turgon's doing some work over here. But Eonwe's forces is building up here. He's getting a pretty sizable force. Which could be pretty scary for the dwarves. Doesn't look like Turgon has much in the way of an army, actually. Also, that siege works that we saw there has been taken out by some sneak attack of some kind. We do have Axors being built by the archery range here from Turgon. Which should help out a bit. Axors are quite nice. Dwarven Axors, of course, are better than these Wildman Axors. These guys here. Those aren't Wildman Axors. He doesn't have any. They have the same damn model as the Wildman Axors. These guys. Of course you would hope so. They're dwarves. Dwarves are tankier in general. I don't know which one's damage output is higher. It might be exactly the same. I'm not sure. But we do have an attack from Turgon on Eonwe's base here. Getting a nice surprise attack from the back with these forward mines. Fortunately, Eonwe should really invest in the Murder of Crows. Is that what it's called? Fortress Crows, so he can have a huge vision range. You'd see all forward mines around his base. No issue. I think it would have been worth the 500. But of course he does have to keep up with the dwarfs, so maybe he didn't have the time to save up that 500. Hard to say. But it might have saved him a few structures if he knew where they were coming from. Intel can be pretty key sometimes. Unfortunately for Eonwe, though, Turgon will take another furnace of his. He'll just cancel that immediately. Let's take a look at powers and command points and such. Eonwe, the Isengard player, is 11 power points. With Crevain, he's going for Devastation, instantly netting him a lot of cash. He's got 188 of 550. We got 246 of 575 for Turgon. So economy-wise and army-wise, they're actually doing fairly similar, turns out. And we have heal and rally call and 7 power points for Turgon. And now we have a fight over the outpost here. Looks like Eonwe has taken it from Turgon. As you see, there's the Wildman. Also, nice feature of Wildman is they can stealth near trees. So you can actually sneak them around in an enemy base as long as they have some trees there, and then leave them there in an ambush with the upgraded torches when you're ready or whatever. Also a nice little tactic to use, because you could just put them right here without the enemy seeing you. Upgrade torches and just run them in there and do a ton of damage. These are also all in course of theory. Theory from a bad player, so who knows. I've seen it utilized before though, so it's not exactly just a theory. Looks like Eonwe is going to lose yet another furnace. Lots of furnaces have been taken down by Turgon in this game. We do have our first hero out in the field. We have alerts. Mine is full of dwarves. But yeah, alerts should make a pretty big difference, especially once he gets leveled up there. You probably shouldn't be meleeing in bow mode though. He is dying. He's also in aggressive stance, so he's taking a massive amount of damage for no reason. Eonwe's really not playing great with his alerts here. Gotta admit, he almost died. Generally speaking, you don't want to be in aggressive stance because you take so much more damage. You only get a 10% boost in damage, I believe. If he's in bow mode and he's not in danger, sure. Or if he's taking in a farm and not getting hit, yeah. But generally speaking, you probably don't want to be in aggressive. Because you just end up dying much faster and doing less damage overall because you have to run. If you think of it that way. Yeah, dead alerts does not do damage, turns out. We have a Hobbit summon here. Oh, use it. Use the vial. This would be the best time. You know, he is using the rock throw at least. This is a pretty big attack from Turgon. I'm just watching this. You all know how I am with the Vial of Blood. It must be utilized, or else the power is wasted. He could have saved so many lives with just pressing the button. It's unfortunate. Oh, Turgon, why you do this? But it's pretty good attack nonetheless. Although it will fail here. He might have actually had a successful attack though had he used that, because the crossbows would have stopped shooting and ran, and the other units would have stopped killing his army and ran as well, allowing him to kill more guys and take less damage. It can be easy to forget though. That's fair. But still, it's always nice to try and remember. Eonwe is even placing furnaces up here in the north, very close to the Dwarven base. Axe swords, of course, are very good against structures though. Fairly decent at least. Should take that down fairly quickly. And these dwarves over here will be cleaned up. And Eonwe's lands will be semi-safe for now. We get more hobbits pouring in over here. Looks like Turgon has reclaimed this bottom left. Continue to fill up his mine shafts with hobbits and dwarves. Dwarven hero wouldn't be too bad. Prince Brand would be great. But Brand is dangerous when you have to face alerts, as Brand takes a lot of melee damage. And he doesn't take it very well. He dies very quickly. So, alerts who pins him in place and carnages will kill him very, very fast. Which he is at that point, so possibly Prince Brand, not the best idea. But if he could keep him out of harm's way and try and do it, it wouldn't be bad. Certainly. Assuming he has an army of dwarves with him, he should be fine, but who knows. We have a Wildman summon there. Things are not looking good for Turgon down here. Hobbits do so much damage. A single rock will kill a unit instantly. And they burn down heroes very quickly. Never underestimate hobbits. Those silver-thorn rocks, they are scary. Fortunately, though, they're not very strong in melee. And they will fall very quickly. As you see, they're taking a lot of guys with them. Commendable, Hobbit, commendable. Got some Wildmen up north. Looks like he has taken out some stuff over here. There's Golem. Of course, not going to be utilized, I would guess. Most players wouldn't even go for Golem if they saw him. Realistically, could you think you could stop and save up 10 grand to build a hero? Probably not. If you are able to do so, then your opponent is very bad. letting you sit there and save up 10,000 gold. We do have a battle wagon out for Turgon. It will make a huge difference, assuming he can keep him away from these pikes, as they are able to absolutely destroy Wildman. Fortunately for him, though, there are pikes in both armies here. So Eonwe is prepared. He's even got pikes for this one, so he is definitely prepared for these battle wagons, which is great. Great for him. No one has utilized the top outpost yet. And it looks like Turgon will lose a farm there. Or mine shaft. I call them all farms. I'm sure you've noticed by now. Which is, I mean, that's what they are, but they all have different names, of course. Mine shaft, which is what this is technically called. The siege works will be burned down here, and Turgon will lose that once again. So he did get a nice oil cask off there. Oil barrel. Oil cask is the fortress upgrade. Oil barrel is that one. And that fire is killing a lot of guys. Fire is very, very deadly. You have to watch out for fire. Fire on the ground can kill an army very quickly if you're not careful. Levels Lurtz. Lurtz is level 5, so he does have his leadership now. Although he is very wounded, so he has to be very careful. Dwarven Zealots would be really, really great right now. They would help take care of Lurtz as well as a lot of these things, but unfortunately he's in a lot of trouble. He does not really in the situation to build those. As Eonwe is going for a big attack. Huge attack, in fact. He's bringing a lot of guys to the party. Battle wagon, being careful not to go in there. Lurtz, of course, does want to get involved, get his leadership votes on his units. These Wildmen do have torch upgrades as well, so these buildings and units are going to die a lot faster. This could be it for Turgon. One big swift attack from Eonwe could be what he needed to end the game. This mineshaft is going to fall for sure, which is a pretty crucial mineshaft for the Dwarves. Of course, cuts off his reinforcement network and such, and as does his production building going down. Of course, negate any troops being built. And this is certainly going to be GG for Turgon. I think. Down goes the archery range. Now he just has to take out the fort, and I think that'll be it. Meanwhile, he's going for an attack on the base of Eonwe. Unfortunately, not going to get much done, and Turgon is defeated. So there you go. And that will be leaving Eonwe the victor. So Eonwe wins both games, round 1, game 2, and game 1. So yeah, well played to Eonwe. Well played to Turgon as well. He actually played very well, but of course was outplayed a bit by his opponent. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. And for more casts, of course, check out Phoenix's channel. Link in my description of my video, as he is co-hosting, or co-casting, not hosting, co-casting the tournament with me. So there is that. Alright, so I will see you guys in the next cast for the Rise of the Witch King tournament. See you guys next time.